Human Action Comics by Lilburne, an exposition of Austrian economics. Issue number 2, Subjective Theory of Value. For more works by Lilburne, visit Summa Anthropica at anthropica.blogspot.com. Another crucial thing about Austrian economics is that it focuses on the meaning that the mind of man gives to the world around him, not on the intrinsic properties of the outside world itself. The day before Crusoe's shipwreck, the coconut and the rock lying on the island were not goods, they were just things. They were objects of botany and geology, but not of economics. It was only when Crusoe cast his eyes upon them and judged them to be potentially useful for achieving his ends that they became goods.
Economics is not about things and tangible material objects. It is about men, their meanings and actions, goods, commodities, and wealth, and all the other notions of conduct are not elements of nature. They are elements of human meaning and conduct.
Let's continue Crusoe's story. Remember, Crusoe awoke with two feelings of uneasiness, a ravenous hunger and a bitter chill. Let's say he sees two goods before him on the beach, an open coconut and a perfectly dry greatcoat, which has tumbled out of a chest that had washed up on the beach from the shipwreck. He sees behind him a great wave, which in moments will hit the beach. The wave will probably pull the coconut into the sea as it recedes, and will soak the greatcoat. Crusoe only has time to save one of the goods. Since the goods are means, and not ends in and of themselves, Crusoe's choice is not, at bottom, a matter of coconut versus greatcoat. It's a matter of A, the alleviation of hunger that the coconut would provide, versus B, the alleviation of cold that the greatcoat would provide. Crusoe will choose according to which alleviation is more important to him. This brings us to a commonsensical but crucial economic law. Man values goods according to the relative importance of the satisfaction they provide. Whichever good he chooses is by definition valued more than the other, and the relative values of the coconut and the greatcoat are determined by the relative importance of the satisfactions they are expected to provide, i.e., their relative subjective utility.
Wrong!
Excuse me?
The value of a commodity depends on the relative quantity of labor which is necessary for its production. The greatcoat obviously required more labor than the coconut, so it must be of greater value.
This is Ricardo's labor theory of value, which plagued classical economics for generations.
I've got this. Wealth does not consist in the amount of effort required for each satisfaction obtained, but that the exact opposite is true. We should understand that value does not consist in want or the obstacle or the effort, but in the satisfaction. We should readily admit that although Robinson Crusoe is both producer and consumer, in order to gauge his progress, we must look not at his labor, but at its results.
Now that that's taken care of, let's imagine Crusoe sees the following goods far away from the shore. An opened can of beans, a small locked chest with a coat inside, and he sees the following goods on the beach: a can opener, the key to the chest. For the sake of simplicity, let's say there will never be any way to open the can without the opener, or the chest without the key. A wave is coming. The can and the chest are safe, but the opener and the key are in danger. You can only save one. Note that all four goods are producer's goods. The relative values of the two endangered producer's goods depend on the relative values of the consumer's goods they produce. which in turn depend on the relative importance of satisfaction each consumer's good provides. Thus, value is derived in the mind of man backwards through time. And this economic law applies to producers' goods just as much as to consumers' goods. Man values goods according to the relative importance of the satisfaction they provide. Wrong! Gah! Adam Smith, founder and colossus of classical economics.
If this were true, how would you explain the diamond water paradox? Man, in practice, almost universally values diamonds over water. Look out, kid, he's about to bust some Calvinism on your ass. Yet is not the sating of thirst more important than the enjoyment of frippery?
Yeah, there it is. Don't worry, kid, I'll get help.
You see, young man, value cannot be derived subjectively from utility. It must be derived objectively from labor. And if value is derived solely from labor, then all wealth is created solely by the workers who are being expropriated by capitalist pigs. Proletariat of the world, unite! Wait, I didn't mean... I think I'm going to be sick. Gentlemen, I think I may be able to clear things up. Will Karl Menger solve the diamond water paradox and rescue the subjective utility theory of value from Marx and the classical economists? Find out in the next issue of Human Action Comics by Lilburne. Please visit anthropica.blogspot.com for updates and for reading lists. For more on the topics covered in this issue, scroll down to the reading list section on the left and click on Value Theory.